Mabuhay! Josie Rizal is one of the newest characters in the globally popular video game Tekken 7. And many were surprised that the first Filipino-inspired character of the Tekken universe is a woman, let alone being depicted as this fiercely and sexually independent woman.
But is that really that big of a surprise?
Let's take a look. When it comes to gender equality amongst nations, the Philippines ranks #1 in Asia and 9th in the world. The Philippines also ranks #1 globally when it comes to gender equality in education and in health. But I believe this achievement pales in comparison to the ancient women of our islands. Women in the ancient societies in what is now the Philippines enjoyed the rights, freedom, and privileges equal to those of men, and in some aspects even greater. So here are 5 things you probably did not know about pre-colonial women of what is now the Philippines. Number 1. Women were never the property of men, as opposed to Western societies and in many Eastern traditions. In fact, women were also entitled to their own properties, independent to those of men. Number 2. Women had the right to divorce their husbands for a number of reasons, including the failure to satisfy her in their marriage. And even in divorce, women were entitled to their own properties before marriage and an equal part to the properties they acquired during their marriage. And in some cases, men also had to pay their ex-wives a fortune after their divorce. Number 3. Women also had the freedom and the right over their own bodies and sexuality, including the right to abortion. And yes, even virginity was not that big of a deal back then. Number 4. Women also occupied one of the highest and most revered places in these ancient societies. They were known as the Babaylan to the Visayans, or the Mamaluyan to the Kapampangans, Catalonan to the Tagalogs, and many more. They were the spiritual and religious leaders of their time. In fact, they were known to be the vessels of the gods. And number 5, women were not just confined to domestic and religious affairs. They were not just the head of the family, but also key decision makers in society. Many of them were fierce warriors in the battlefield, and many of them are also great leaders, rightfully inheriting the throne and the kingdoms of their parents. And documents signed and witnessed by women were also of a higher value than those done without their presence. Now these are just a few of the many things about women in the time of our ancestors. But we also have to keep in mind that what we now call the Philippines was an archipelago of diverse people, a collection of many nations, each with their own sets of laws and customs. And these 5 things that I mentioned were just some of the most common ones. And with such evidence, most experts agree that the ancient societies of our islands were indeed matriarchal in nature.
So is Josie Rizal still that big of a surprise?
I guess not. To learn more about women in the Philippines, check out the video description below for some useful links. And I guess that's it for today. Until next time.
Bye.